This is Steven from Legit PC, and welcome to my Thief review. So this game here was a very, very cool game. I really enjoyed it. I didn't play all the way through. The thing is that it is really for people that like certain types of things in their games. Because this game could be for you or it could not be for you. It's kind of one of those things. Or it could be, you know, that you just don't care. Okay, so here are a lot of the graphic settings. So this is a lot of what you would see in an indie game. And here I just point at the benchmark. This is from my day one, so I usually just plug it in there. Alright, so you got field of view, which you don't see in too many AAA titles. So that's really good. You got a preset, texture quality, texture filtering quality, shadow quality, screen space. What does it say? Screen space reflection. And this also has physics. I think it's just... Oh no, it's tessellation. Sorry, it's got tessellation. For, yeah, so it's a good looking game. Except for in the prequel, they didn't care too much about the prequel. So they just kind of threw that part together. But the rest of it, all the textures are really nice. The biggest point... Also, I was playing on normal. I was having a lot of problems again with the Unreal Engine dropping frames. Kind of had some pretty bad performance. So the main thing that I wanted to say in this recording is that the recording here is not really representative of what happens in the game. The recording is a lot smoother than how the game actually plays.
Anyone left who knows how to fix these frigging things?
Actually, well, this does look kind of choppy, even the recording. But yeah, you could. There was a little look at kind of the art of the game, and here's another look at what the game looks like. That's the biggest part of this game is the look of the game, the art, the time period. You know, kind of the whole styling, the dark and the like the plague almost. And they also give you a lot of different options how you want to play. You want to play as a hunter, you want to play as being invisible type thing, or what do you want to do? Whatever you want to do, they have that ability for you, and you get kind of achievements for how you play. At the end of each chapter that you play through, it will tell you, you know, how you proceeded through and what type of style you used according to certain guidelines. Now the reason why I have this footage in here is to also show the engine yet again, and to show this is basically what happens. I mean, if this looks boring to you, this is what most of the game is. If you play more of a thief ghost type thing where you just walk around and steal rather than shooting people in the head with a bow or bashing them in the back of the head with blackjack, then this is basically what it is. So you're walking around stealing from the guards, and you are saving a lot if you're trying to go for ghost. You are constantly saving to make sure that you don't lose your progress. If someone sees you, then you could just revert back to that save. So I do have a section to what you would be basically doing. And here, of course, it's very similar to a Tomb Raider game. There's a lot of different types of puzzles and things that you have to complete in order to get loot or get extra things, and a lot of exploration in this game. So like the more you explore, the more loot you find. So here, for whatever reason, I can't seem to figure out that the circle's got to be attached there in the center, and I find that out right now. So here's part of the story. So right here, you can't go past that. You have to go through that puzzle until you finish it. And there's some parts where you will get stuck and almost spend, you know, 2 hours. Because I think I had about 9 hours on the game. So you could be sitting there at a portion, I would have like an hour just sitting there. So here's where you see all your stats, and I was an opportunist. You could be ghost, opportunist, or predator. and it'll tell you like if you go under. So here's an option here. So I would save the game and then go through. This one right here, I would show what happens if you want to be a killer type thing. And then I saved there so I could go back to being a ghost and not actually using this.
You knew with this? I'm coming for you.
And for whatever reason, like
You stop.
and then here it would be sort of like a ghost playthrough, to where a ghost is basically where you have to almost not be seen at all, so you can't do any takedowns, no one could see you or chase you, or basically where their eye turns like a yellow color, that means that they're looking for you. If it turns red, that means that they saw you and they're coming to try to kill you. And then you see there's all different kinds of collectibles that you find all over the place, similar to that.
What do we have here?
And those are also so there's definitely a lot of time that you can put into this game. You search everywhere, go through all the windows, go through all the doors, go through all of the vaults and stuff. I mean the safes, unlocking the safes, doing similar to what you see right here. Actually, I do find a safe in here. So you can, collect all the money, find all the money, collect all the collectibles, and go through all of the different locations and do all the side quests. There's definitely a lot of side quests that you could do, as well as stuff that you can find in the DLCs. There are DLCs available for this game as well. But this is also another video of what you're doing most of the time in the game. You're looking around, trying to find a way to get to that white little circle or eye thing. And here, like, what's going on here? You have to knock down the crate. So, yes. So it could seem boring to, It depends on what you like in your games. This game here does not have any multiplayer. It is only a single-player game. And the only times that it gets more intense and a little more strategic, I don't have any footage of that, but it's when you go through, like, the main part of the chapter. So this is, like, the main world. We're talking like when you go into like a brothel, or you go into there was a I forgot what that's called. I guess there was a furnace that they were using to throw all the bodies in. So we were going through that factory, and then everything's like really close quarters and really hard to walk by somebody without giving yourself away. So that's when it gets a little more exciting. So there was, with a brothel. There was one with a brothel, and then another one with the furnace, were the ones that I played, where you would have different, where it would be a little bit of a different experience as far as having to worry about being really close to somebody, or you're actually on the side and they could see you when you walk past. It's a narrow hallway or whatever. And this is one of the problems that I found also on the reviews. A lot of other people said this about it, is that like you could jump back and forth between different maps, so every time you do that it loads. So you could have quite a bit of loading screens, especially when you're jumping back and forth through locations. Like here, that's not really where I wanted to go, so I go back to the window and have to jump back to the arrow location and have to go through a whole nother loading screen.
So loud. She'll poison does next if she thinks we're on to her?
Other than that, what kind of playthrough would I suggest going through this? I would suggest Ghost, because most of the time, if you go, all out and be shooting everybody, you're gonna run out of arrows, and the people that you go to buy arrows and stuff are pretty far in between. Like you could go almost through a whole chapter and not even see a guy, not even see one. So like, I think I only went to a guy twice, and I went through 4 chapters, so I only saw two merchants. So you would run out of arrows so quick, especially when after like the first 2 chapters, I didn't find any arrows laying inside a little lockbox. So I was basically on my own to where I had to conserve my arrows, but that was cool with me because I was playing as a ghost or opportunist playthrough, to where you sneak up on somebody, hit them in the back of the head, so you could go through all their loot and all the loot around them, so they won't alert their friends. So either a ghost or an opportunist. You definitely don't want to be a hunter or whatever it calls it for that. And then here would be an average map that you see. And there's actually the merchant down there next to the symbol with the hat. So there's one merchant there. Alright, so we're going to be coming up at the end of our footage here in a second. Alright, so I'm going to give like a 2-minute summary. So the game is really for those people that like the art style, was kind of a fan of Bioshock Infinite. Kind of has that similar feel at some points. So like, that kind of dark, and the storyline. The storyline is kind of funky. I didn't really quite dig the storyline. Didn't really make any sense to me. But I liked the art style and the period, and kind of the setting of the plague type type thing, and then the Baron is mistreating all the settlers and this and that. So it's really my type of game. I enjoyed it. I play it because of the art form and the type of style, but has no multiplayer, has just a single player, will probably not have any replayability value, so you play it once and you're done. Has a little bit of expandability with DLC. Other than that, it's pretty much play once and you're done with it. And the engine doesn't play very well for my PC. Have always had problems with Unreal Engine. It does drop frames and does have a lot of loading screens. But other than that, plenty of styles to play through for any type of person. You have the invisible ghost, you have the opportunist, which is, knocking somebody out, kind of like a non-lethal playthrough, and then you have the lethal playthrough. And of course, it's basically just roam around, listen through people through windows, and then figure out where they're hiding all their things. Learn different stories about the occupants of the buildings, and the illness that is going through. Other than that, it's probably not for you. If that doesn't appeal, if none of this footage appeals to you, then it's probably not your type of game. If it does, I would definitely pick it up, especially if it goes on sale and you don't have another game to play, or you want to. Today Titanfall comes out in 5 hours, so if you want to find a single player game to take a break from Titanfall, then yeah, this is a good game to pick, especially when it's the first AAA title that I played since the end of last year. Anyways, really cool. I thought it was a cool game. Definitely has about maybe 20-hour playthrough, or maybe less, depending on if you just go through. I went through 4 chapters. There might be like 8. So I'm 8 hours in, so you're talking at least 16, and then you could do all the DLCs and all the extra things to go and do all the side quests and look for all the loot and the collectibles. So basically has anything that you could want in a single player game, as far as playability and time that you could play it. So I guess you could reach your own conclusion from the video. That's I already gave you my view into it. So this has been Steven from the Legit PC. I'd like to thank you for watching my Thief review. It's a pretty good game. I would recommend it if you like what you saw and the art style. So if you like this video, please subscribe for other videos like it. And I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Take it easy.